Another type of application in the field of language and communication, in this case communication, that you can think of that's being built is related to social communication. So really the social aspects of communication. Also here, people may have issues, may have trouble communicating in a socially desirable way in everyday life. And this is sometimes the case in autism spectrum disorder. So this is a neurodevelopmental disorder. In that sense, it's very different from aphasia. So aphasia really can happen to you at one point in your life. You get this stroke and then you have aphasia, whereas autism is often already present very early on in life. And so it develops over time, and you can already often see some indications of it in infants very early on in their life. In that sense, it's different. It strikes 1 to 2% of the population. That doesn't seem too much, but actually, if you think about how many people that are, that's quite a bit. And often, this disorder leads to trouble with social interactions. For instance, reading the intentions that other people may have, behaving in a socially desirable way in interactions, in communication, in the conversations that you may have with other people. But it's also very heterogeneous. So different people, all being at some point of this autism spectrum scale, may have different difficulties in everyday life with different aspects of communication. So of course here also people are developing and testing now applications to sort of, again, train people in VR, in this case, again, in desktop VR, so in 2D still, with different kinds of communicative activities. And the hope is that if they practice this a lot in a virtual and a safe virtual environment, that this sort of generalizes to everyday life and helps people a little bit in terms of communication in their everyday encounters. So you can think of things like practicing how to tell a story in VR, how to interact with people, how to negotiate perhaps even. You can also think of role-playing scenarios in VR where you can practice what it's like to play a certain role in a conversation, for instance, but also in important events in your life. So for instance, you can think of having a job interview. So there, of course, it's important that you sort of behave in a certain way, such that, for instance, the institute or the company where you are wanting to work and sort of think, well, this is a nice employee that we would like to hire. So this is also something you can practice in VR in the hope that it will help you in everyday life. Again, one takeaway point of this research is that also this is still in its infancy. So people are starting to develop the first kind of applications, testing them. Again, sometimes they seem to work well, sometimes they need some improvement, but still also here a lot of research is lacking. So it would be very nice in this case to have some very strict experimental designs where, again, a control condition is compared to the test condition to see whether those kind of applications that are being developed work better than all sorts of other applications, more traditional perhaps. But just showing you, because it's related to language and communication, and to just show you that this is being developed. So if you're interested in this, feel free to look further into this.